Getting scammed might actually be the best education you'll ever receive, at least according to Mark Twain's brilliant story about a naive young traveler who learns life's hardest lessons the expensive way.
Oh, that's fascinating. I love how Twain manages to turn life's painful moments into profound wisdom. What drew you to this particular story?
Well, it's this incredible piece called The Poor Traveler that follows this young guy who basically embodies all of us when we first step out into the world, full of dreams, but completely clueless about how things really work.
Sounds like my first year out of college. How does Twain develop this character?
So here's what's brilliant. Twain creates this perfect storm of optimism and vulnerability. The traveler encounters every type of con artist imaginable, from snake oil salesmen to sophisticated swindlers, yet somehow maintains this remarkable resilience that makes you both cringe and admire him.
That's such a delicate balance to strike. Does the story suggest there's actual value in these painful experiences?
Oh, absolutely. And here's where it gets really interesting. Each scam the traveler falls for is like a masterclass in human nature. It's fascinating how Twain shows that wisdom isn't just about avoiding mistakes, it's about learning the right lessons from them.
That reminds me of some research I read about resilience building. Studies show that people who face moderate adversity actually develop better coping mechanisms than those who never face challenges.
That's exactly what Twain is getting at. The traveler doesn't just learn to spot scams, he develops this deeper understanding of human nature. It's like emotional intelligence boot camp, but with pickpockets and con artists as the instructors.
Hmm. So, how does he maintain his optimism through all this? Most people would become cynical pretty quickly.
Well, that's where Twain's genius really shines. The character develops what you might call informed optimism. He learns to trust but verify, to hope but prepare. It's like watching someone learn to swim without drowning in cynicism,
That's such a crucial life skill, especially in our modern world of sophisticated online scams and social engineering.
right? And here's something wild. The FBI reports that Americans lost over $10.3 billion to online scams in 2022 alone. The methods have changed since Twain's time, but human nature hasn't budged an inch.
Oh, wow, that really puts things in perspective. The poor traveler's journey feels more relevant than ever.
And you know what's fascinating? Studies show that people who've been scammed once often become better at detecting future scams, but only if they process the experience constructively rather than just shutting down emotionally.
That's really what the story's about, isn't it? Learning without becoming bitter.
Exactly. And psychologists have found that this kind of resilience can be taught. It's not about avoiding all risks, but about developing what they call adaptive trust, basically, learning when to open up and when to guard yourself.
So, in a way, Twain was ahead of his time in understanding psychological resilience.
Um, yeah, he really was. The story essentially maps out what modern researchers call post traumatic growth, how people can actually become stronger through adversity. The traveler's journey is like a case study in emotional development.
That makes me think about how we might be overprotecting young people today from these learning experiences.
Well, that's a fascinating point. Some educators argue that we need what they call productive failure, controlled situations where people can fail safely and learn from the experience. The story really highlights how these lessons can't just be taught theoretically.
How does the story ultimately resolve? Does our traveler find his way?
So here's what's beautiful about the ending. The traveler doesn't just become street smart, he becomes life wise. He learns to navigate the world with both caution and openness, which psychologists say is actually the healthiest approach to trust.
That feels like such a valuable message for today's world.
You know what's really striking? Recent studies show that people who maintain this kind of balanced optimism actually tend to be more successful in the long run. They take calculated risks rather than either avoiding all risk or trusting blindly.
So Twain was essentially writing a manual for emotional intelligence, wasn't he?
Exactly. And here's the kicker: modern research backs up his insights. The most resilient people aren't those who never get fooled. They're the ones who learn and grow from their mistakes while keeping their fundamental faith in humanity intact.
That's really what we all need to learn, isn't it? How to stay open to life's possibilities while developing better judgment.
Well, that's the ultimate takeaway. Wisdom isn't about avoiding all mistakes, it's about learning the right lessons from them. As Twain shows us, sometimes the most expensive lessons turn out to be the most valuable.